But the question that's been hanging in the air is, this makes no sense. Why? Now, there's not a single kind of Marxist uniform answer for everything. But very quickly, and I'm stepping on someone else's time, we had the, quote, benefit, unquote, of a population of 83 parishes to look at. In some cases, as I've said, these are parishes that have passed their best days. There are some cases of payback to pastors who have been too outspoken. But you know, with a group of 83, you can blend this stuff in. There was follow the money. I mean, one of the guys at our earliest meeting stood up and said, well, we have $4 million in the bank, why did they close us? And I said, Warren, you just answered the question. But lastly, and this is with a health warning and opinion, but particularly since I've had the Dick Lennon experience, I think there was an underlying issue of control and intimidation. And we're going to decapitate any potential leadership and bring these groups back to heel.
Michelle is here from Holy Trinity. Michelle?
It's right here. Right here.
From Holy Trinity in Lorraine.
Hello, everyone. I would just like to say that on behalf of Holy Trinity, our situation back when the churches were merged, that was not an issue for us. We weren't fighting a merger. We're a small congregation. We recognize that. And the situation that stands now is the fact that the majority of the church is elderly. And with the decision to go into St. Mary's, it's hard for the elderly in central Lorraine to get to that particular location. And we're taking along with us 2 or actually 3 other churches that were already committed to go to the Holy Trinity site. And we're losing a lot of people because no one wants to go downtown. There's been a lot of incidents in the paper with crime. They're very concerned about that. And we're trying to appeal on the basis that we could become a mission church. But nobody will give us any information as to who's making these decisions and things of this nature. But really the basis is the fact that they have forgotten about the elderly in our community. And it's very damaged. And it's a community of ethnic people. So this is another factor that plays a role into our area because we are comprised of probably about maybe 6, is that right? 6 ethnic churches that were just completely shut down. So, you know, I hear many people that don't want to go back to church at all, and this is a real sad thing. I can't think of anything else. Otherwise, if someone has a question.
Okay.
Well, hello again. St. Pat's is on the west side. It's the oldest parish in Cuyahoga County. We've been there over 160 years. We're the mother parish of 13 parishes on the west side. You know, we were founded in 1848. We have the cemetery next to us. We have the newly merged West Park Catholic Academy on site. So he's choosing the worship site down the street, but leaving the school there. You know, our cluster was St. Patrick's West Park, Annunciation, Ascension, and Our Lady of Angels. So we're pretty much in close proximity. Annunciation is a very small parish, and they agreed to merge with Ascension in the cluster plan. That was the plan. They were going to merge, we were going to stand alone, Our Lady of Angels was going to stand alone. That was agreed upon. We followed the directions of the cluster process. It was ugly. I was not on the cluster team, thank God, but it was very ugly and it was not good. There was emails flying around from other parishes that were very nasty. Some from religious. It was interesting. So you know basically our story. We found out that we would have to merge with Ascension and Annunciation. We were not too happy about that, but we sucked it up, listened to our pastor indicating, it's financial, and we said, okay, we're thinking no-brainer. We have the biggest church. He'll pick our worship site. We're the oldest. We have the school. We have this. We have that. Laundry list of the reasons why we just thought it would be where it was. The worship site would be down there. Didn't like it, but we were going to accept it. Well, as you know, he did an about face, and even in his letter to us, he said it was a very unexpected decision. No kidding. But he cited that it was because of demographics and serious financial challenges. Well, our parish is in the black. We're projected to be in the black all the way to 2014. We help support the newly merged school. What he is doing now is saying you're going to have one parish to support that newly merged school in a different site. We are not embracing it, and that is we've taken a survey which we'll present to the bishop, which we meet with him on Thursday of this coming week, to explain to him that pretty much about 90 to 95% are not going to go to the newly merged church. So what good is that going to do? It's not being embraced by all like he said it would or should. So that seriously, will damage this newly merged parish if it does go through. The school and the Catholic education is in jeopardy. You go from having two parishes supporting it, which would be the newly merged Annunciation and Ascension as proposed in the cluster, and St. Pat's to support the new school, newly merged school. You need two parishes. That was the whole point of merging the two schools. So he wants it back to one parish supporting the school. The school will die in 2 years. It's. Then we get into just the neighborhood issue. The neighborhood is a strong West Park neighborhood. I've lived there all my life. It would just cripple the neighborhood. And thank God we've had our councilman who put forth a resolution in front of City Council to pretty much tell the bishop, you need to look at this cluster proposal again. And that's all we want is what we submitted to him. We recently had through our councilman, landmarked to be a landmark of Cleveland, so that should be going through hopefully next week. It'll be signed by the mayor. We don't understand, again, like your many stories, no rhyme or reason. I think it boils down to money, which is very unfortunate. And, 2 years ago, evangelize. He's just cutting off the arm of any evangelization. He's actually, and I'll say it publicly, I think he may be evil. That's the only, because he is not doing what I was taught as a Catholic, to embrace and to help. We have an outreach program. We have a hunger center that's been there for 30 years. We feed over 130 families, each month. On a continuous basis in that neighborhood. We have the school. We have the history. It's just a number of things. Our financial situation is good. So, again, it sounds like the same story. Ours all have a little bit of a twist and turn into it. But, when we found out that our site was not chosen, I just had to say, no way. And you saw us on the news. We found out we weren't chosen. I told our pastor, move aside because we're not taking it. And he graciously did. He does support us quietly, but I think it's going to be a battle. Ignatius and Coleman's, they fought, maybe not as publicly as we are, we're going to the approach to put as much pressure on them as possible. If we have to embarrass them, we will, but we're leaving them an out. Just give us what we asked for in the cluster plan.